Alright, so 2012 Honda Civic with a little rattling noise is this tensioner doing that every time you go to accelerate. See the tensioner move? And that's because hydraulic tensioner is leaking. But if you look at your belt, there's still some there. So looks like we're gonna need a tensioner. Alright, fellow mechanics, or do it yourself at home people. So if you're doing your Hondas with 3-bolt water pump pulleys, to crack the bolts loose, you get yourself one ratcheting one, and then you get yourself a second ratcheting one, and you put one on one of the bolts, and then you wedge it against the other bolt, and now you can crack them loose. So let me try it. I can't do it with one hand, but let me just show you. Okay, got somebody to hold the camera for me. So you wedge one wrench, and then you get the other wrench with a flex head, and then you just crack it loose. That's one. So yeah, that's basically it. You do the same thing for the rest of the other two. You just rotate the crank until you can get one up there onto the bolt, and then wedge it against the side, and then you can crack all them loose. The reason why I had to remove that water pump pulley is because that water pump covers the bolt here, the Allen bolt that goes in the center here. You can't get it out without taking the water pump pulley out, so that's how I usually take the water pump bolts off. And the reason why I'm replacing this tensioner is because this hydraulic tensioner is leaking, and then leaked all this stuff out. So if you're noticing like a rattling noise at idle, or a rattling when you're accelerating on like the passenger side, that is why, because this thing just completely failed. And this is how you replace it. I just removed the crank just to make it easier to come out, and it gives you plenty of space to get that out, because that bolt goes up to there on the back side right here. No, it didn't take out the pump. Yeah, usually the bolt breaks, and then this thing hits up against the back of the water pump pulley, and then it just keeps grinding it away. Right? The bolt breaks.
The pivot bolt.
Yeah, the pivot bolt breaks on these things too. That's the other thing that happens on these things. Having to replace it, get a new bolt.
Yeah, do not ignore the rattling noise.
Yeah, do not ignore the rattling noise. And if you want the part number for that tensioner for your 9th gen Civic, that is it. And here's the brand new one. So once you get the new pulley in, and you're tightening the water pump pulley, you do the same thing but the opposite way. So I got it wedged on this side of this bolt, and then I got it on the top. And then this one I can actually use one hand to like tighten it by just squeezing both wrenches together to tighten that one bolt, and then I just rotate it, do it to the other bolts, and then that's pretty much it. Put your crank pulley back on, and then your belt, and so forth, and then you're pretty much done on the your 2012 or 9th gen Civic.